Hello and welcome to this session on Python strings and substrings. So normally dealing with strings and substrings is considered as tedious. So that's why it's not that much boring topic. So let's get started. Okay, so what is a string? It represents textual data. It is a sequence of characters enclosed with quotes. So there can be a single quote. It is enclosed in a single quote or it is enclosed in two quotes. So string one, string two. Today is awesome. Today is awesome too. Okay, now we'll see some string operations. So convert string to integer. So say there is a number. Convert integer to string. So there is an integer and I want to convert it to a string. So I can simply use str function. Or there is a old style little old style function called as f, and then curly brackets. You include the variable name, or you can use the format function also directly, again with curly brackets, and you can use percent %s also just to convert it to a string uh, dynamically. Again, this is bit old style, not used very frequently nowadays, but let's see. Right, so all the strings are printed, all the every time the integer is converted to a string. Okay, let's continue. Convert string to an integer, so the opposite. Say this is a string and it is basically a number enclosed in a single quote or double quote. So you can simply use int function to convert it into a integer, string to integer. Okay, string with trailing zeros. So sometimes we have a string with which is having trailing zeros, so that will be removed by this int function automatically. So let's run it. Right, so trailing zeros are removed. Then converting string with different bases. So we have binary and we have hexadecimal bases. So let's see. So this is a binary string. I mean, it is a string with only binary numbers 0 and 1. So you can use with integer function, but you can specify the base, which is base 2 or base 16 and so on. Similarly, hexadecimal string. So only hexadecimal characters are available in the string, so that you can convert using int function and with the base. Let's run it. Okay, so 0 1 1 in binary means integer 7 and f in hexadecimal means 15. Let's proceed. Check if a string is entirely numeric. So sometimes we have to check if whether is it a numeric or is there any character inside and so on. So this string contains only numbers. This string contains characters. So we have is digit function which will tell you whether it is entirely numeric or not. So yes, this is numeric and this is not numeric. Okay, let's see next. Slicing. So slicing is also very widely used operation, and let's see how we can do a slicing. So this is a string having, say for example, 10 characters. So I want to slice it from index 0 to sixth character. That means total, so sixth is excluding, and here if I want to slice from say character 1 to sixth character excluding, then I can specify with a colon. So this is the way the slicing is designed in Python. So let's run it. Okay, so this is the entire string I want from 0 to 6. So 0 to 6, that is 0 1 2 3 4 5. So total six numbers, six characters are sliced, but it is starting with index 0. So again here it is slicing from index 1, so that is index 1 to total six character up to sixth character. So totally there will be five characters in the result. Okay, so let's see the syntax in bit detail. So s, then start index, then end index, and with how many steps you want to slice it. Again same example. So I have a string, I want to start it from index 3 up to 10 characters, and every alternate characters I want to gather, or I want to split it. Right, so s 3 10 2. Another example is I want to start from I want to start from 0 and go to the end, but I want to print only alternate characters. So this is the step. The step is basically the alternate how many characters you want to skip. Okay, I'll run it. Right, so if you see here, 3, 10, and 2. So um, starting with third index, so 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the starting with third index, then the value is 4, and it will go up to the 10th 10th character or the 10th length, and then it will gather only the alternate number, so that is 4, then 5 is skipped, then 6, then 7 is skipped, then 8, and then 9 is skipped, and then 0. Okay, similarly here also I want to slice the entire string, but just the alternate numbers. So it will start with the first index, that is 0, always start with 0, and then alternate 0, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. So get all characters before and after a specific position. So I want to start with um, index 7, and then I will go till the end. So I want all the characters after index 7, or I want all the characters till index 5, or the total 5 characters are available, right? So let's run it. Okay, so after 7 all the things are available, and before 5th everything's are available. Okay, before 5th means total 5, 5 characters I want. So and start index is 0, so that will it will start from the first index, and then it will continue till total 5 characters are fetched or sliced. Okay, get the entire string. So sometimes we can simply say is print s, or we can have no index provided. So no index provided means I want to go from start to end, that is the complete string. Again, I can have the end, uh, I can have one colon, or I can have two colon, because the second colon after the option after second colon is optional. So we can go with this way also, right? So all the strings, all the values are printed. Okay, accessing a specific character in a string. So just you have to provide the index. Okay, say for example I want 0th character or 5th character and so on, so we can get it. Okay, so 0th character is this and 5th character is this, and so on. Okay, characters from index minus 4. So if you provide a minus or negative index, what will happen? So print s. Okay, I will print the entire string, fine. Now I want to start with -2. Okay, so this is bit not conventional, this is a negative index. So negative index means it will start from backside, it will start from the end towards back. Okay, character from the start up to index -3. So this is the starting index is -2, so it will go till say -1, -2. Okay, and that's it. The end index is again till the end, so -2. That means it will print the last two characters. Now here, uh, starting index is 0, or the default one, and it should end till -3. Okay, so characters from start up to index -3, that means -1, -2, -3. So these should be removed, and only the other characters remaining, those should be printed. Again, we can be flexible of start index is -2 and end index is -5. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So it will start from 6 and it will go till 8. Okay, so -5 to -2. So let's see the output. Okay, so first entire string is printed, then it will start from -2. So that is only the 90 should be printed. Yes. Okay, then from 0 to -3 index, so that is last three digits are removed, and only the initial digits are printed. And again, this is a custom start and custom end index. Okay, reverse the string. So this is again very commonly used and very largely searched term in Google. So reverse the string, so simply you can say start index 0 and the step is -1. That means it will simply reverse the string. Okay, it will reverse the string. All right, so let's proceed. Split string into list of characters. So this is one string, say demo, and I want to split it into number of characters which are present in this string. So you simply say list and then print it, or you can use the list comprehension also. So character for character in string, and then assign it to a. So a becomes a list, and you can play with it. Okay, so it is a list, and every individual element is basically each character in the original string. Okay, I iterate over characters of a string in Python. So let's say I have a string. Okay, and I want to process each and every character for some business requirement. So I can use a for loop for char in s and print the each character, or I can use enumerate function which will give you the index and the character at that index also. So let's just run it. Okay, so in the first for loop I will just get the each individual character, and then I can process the character. I can do whatever on that character, or I can use enumerate. So enumerate will give you the index and the value of that particular character. Okay, so convert a list to string. See, I have this list which is having three elements inside it. I love Python, so I want to convert everything into one string. So I can use a join function, which is joining each element of a list, combine it to dump it into a string, and then you can print it. Or I can use a list comprehension also, that so this is a similar data type, and this data type is different. So if you see, there is a string and there is a int also. So you can use a string, or you can convert individual into a string, strs for s in a. This is again a list comprehension. Okay, so this list comprehension has to be applied because one data type is not common, or it is not a string. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, so it is converted into a string, and if you see, this is also taken care because this integer is converted to a string. Okay, now let's see format method. So this is the syntax. You can use the curly brackets and then dot format and the value. Say a is 88, b is English. So this is int and this is string. Now I can use this format. So I can use a curly braces here, and I can say the argument which I'm going to pass in the format function will be replaced here. Okay, so for now, if you print the score, it will be simply printing like this with these curly braces and all. But now what we want is we want to replace this with a particular value what we intend. So you can use score equal to this dot format a comma b. Now what is dot format? It will simply replace. It will format the items which are enclosed in a curly bracket. So it will replace this a with this, and it will replace b with this curly braces. So that will be stored in a string, and you can print the string and so on. Okay, now if you see, there's one more twist here. The twist is my index is changed. Okay, 1 and 0, so that doesn't matter. So the one which you mention it here, that will be replaced for 0. The one you mention here, that will be replaced with 1. Okay, so the indexing is what is matched in the format function. Let's run it. Okay, so first, if you see, there's no formatting done, so it is simply printing the original string. But the second time, it will say my 88 score in English, because the 0 will be replaced by a, and here also a will replace 0. So my English score is 88. Okay, now let's see the index error thing. Okay, now here, as you can see, this string contains two curly braces enclosed characters. So obviously the format function expects two arguments should be passed. Okay, so one for this, one for this. But if you see this is not correct, it will give a compilation error. It will say unresolved reference A. Okay, so let me just uncomment this. Okay, now this will give an index error because it expects two items to be passed, but now I'm passing only one. Okay, so let's just run it. So I'm getting index error. Okay, replacement index one out of range. Okay, that means one additional index is not passed. Okay, another commonly used item for floating number with named parameter. So again, in the format function, we can pass on the float numbers, but now if you see, I'm having a float number, so and I can use a name also. So here, if you see, I was passing the index. Here, if you see, I can pass a variable name also. So this variable name will be simply replaced by this. But now here I am what I'm doing. I want to have it in a particular format. So floating numbers, if you see, floating numbers can the float part can go up to n number of digits. Now I want to have some limit on it. So percent 3f. Okay, let me just copy this first. Okay, so percent 3f, that means I want it should be having three places after the decimal. Okay, but now I'm passing only two. So let's see. Okay, so if you see, I am expecting and I want the output should be printed in a floating format. Okay, for this variable c. Okay, and I want the decimals which are after decimal point should be 3. If I'm passing only one, or if I'm passing say two digits after the decimal, then it will add one more to it, and it will print up to three characters or three decimals after the dot. So that kind of formatting can also be done. Okay, now using percent s specifier, this is bit old style in C++ or C language, or even um, older versions of Python also. We used to use this percent s character. So that is something which is a legacy. We can still use it. So percent s basically, whatever is being passed after this um, in the string, that will be converted to percentage. That is percent s means it is a string converted into a string. Right, my English score is 88. Okay, it is called as type specifier. It is bit oldies. Strip method. Okay, so now I have this string which has blank spaces or white spaces added or padded at the start or at the end. Now if I want to strip this, I can use this strip method. It will simply remove the white spaces at the beginning or at the end. Okay, now if I want to remove a particular addition of a full string, then I can specify this as full string here. So it removes whatever is specified in this from this string. Okay, so let's see. Right, so first time it will strip all the white spaces. So all the white spaces are stripped and it is showing without any white spaces. And second time, it has stripped everything up to this edge. So ELLO world, that is what is printed. Okay, right. Okay, string immutability. So mutable and immutable. So string cannot be changed after they are created. In Python, if you assign a string to a variable, and then if you want to change the individual character, you cannot change it directly. Okay, so this will give you an uh, str not not defined AC item operator cannot be used on its instance. Okay, so basically this is taking it as a list, and then it considers that it want the user intends to change the zeroth character of a string. So list and string both are different thing. Okay, so that you cannot change directly. So if you run it, you will get an type error, str object does not support item assignment. Okay, so that is not possible. So if you want to delete a string, there is a del function which simply deletes the variable and of course its content. Now after you delete, then if you want to use it or refer it, it will give an error that it is not defined. Okay, it can be undefined, right? So let's run it. Okay, so it created the variable with this value, then deleted it, and after deleting, if I want to print it, it is giving a name error. It is saying, it said that it is not defined. Why? Because it is deleted. So once it is deleted, that means it is gone from the system. Okay, repeating a string n number of times. Okay, this is also required in some of the entrance exam or any specific business need. So say I this is a statement I want to repeat 3 times, so simply print uh, the variable into 3. Okay, it is printing in one line because there is no new character here. So that is what it will do. It will just simply append or add this string at the end of itself and will give you the output. Okay, some other thing. So string comparison. Say there are two strings, apple and banana. Okay, so how to do comparison is using the equal to operator. So apple is not equal to banana, therefore it is false. Okay, this is they are not equal, so it is false. If they are different, then it will print the this operator output, that is it will say okay they are not equal, correct. Then if you want to do case insensitive, simply convert it into lower. Everything you convert into lower and then compare. Okay, so even if you have everything in lower or upper, these two are actually not matching, so it will give you false. Okay, let's run it. Right, so first thing is that they are not they if they are they equal, false. Are they not equal? Yes. Lower case, are they equal? Again false, and so on. Okay, so starts with and ends with function. So every string, we can check if it starts with something and ends with something. So we have this function ready-made available for each string. So does it start with app? Yes, apple starts with app. Does it ends with anna? So ana s2 ends with anna. So let me just put s2 here and run it. Right, so both places it is true. Okay, lexicographical comparison. Okay, sometimes also required in specific situations. So it checks if one string appears before or after another in alphabetical order. So apple appears before banana, so a is before b, and so on alphabetically, so therefore it is true. So is s1 less than s2? Yes, because a is less than b, or a appears before b. Okay, similarly the reverse, s2 is s2 greater than s1? Yes, because b appears later than a, so that is why it is correct. Okay, both the places you will get true. Okay, let's proceed. So string replace method. So it replace method, you have to give the old string reference, new string reference, and count. So count we will see later. Count is optional. It specifies the maximum number of replacements to be performed. If omitted, then all occurrence will be replaced. Okay, so apple, 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 so replace apple with orange everywhere. So I can simply say s dot replace, you want to replace old with something new. Okay, old and new. Now print s1 will give you orange, orange, orange. Now replace apple with orange, but only once. So this is the count I want. I have to specify that. Okay, replace it, but only replace only once, and replace the only the first occurrence, right? So let's run it. Okay, so it will replace first every occurrence, then it will replace only the first occurrence, or only once. Okay, string split method. So basically it will split the string based on what character you have specified. Okay, in this case, if you see the original string, so I want every string to be replaced with this comma. Okay, so split it with this thing, and after splitting, the what will be the type of this words variable. So once it is split, it will dump it in, it will dump everything in a list. So words types will be list, and then I can print the list also. Let's run it. Okay, so the after splitting, it becomes a list. Okay, see, s1 is not modified, only I'm talking about the result or words variable. It is a list, and then it will be having an individual variable with without this character semicolon. Okay, so let's see the broader level syntax. String dot split, you have to specify by what you want to split, and then how many, um into maximum number of provided number of times. So if there is a string, you want to split everything into say only two or three or four um items, then you can use max split variable. So it is optional. So I want to split this orange, mango, everything based on this character which is comma, but I want to have overall, I want to have only two items in the result. Okay, so in the result it will say orange, and it will see all everything in another item as another item. Okay, so this is one, this is two, and everything is in different or another item. Okay, max is split, so it will split it based on how many we want. So two, as I said, two. Okay, so what it means is it will split the first two and remaining everything in another item as another item. Okay, split on a given string. So I want to split it based on say semicolon, because there's no semicolon here, so it will have only everything combined as one word, but the words will be, the type of words will be split. Okay, I want to split it by mango, so I want to split it by mango, so this mango will be replaced or split, and the first item will be having this, and second item will be having this content. Let's see. Okay, so first time the split with semicolon, so there is no semicolon, so everything is in one string. Second time it will split by mango, so as I said, orange comma will be one member or one item, and then comma grape comma avocado comma guava will be another item, and so on. Okay, so if I simply say split, then it will split based on white space. Okay, so let there be any number of white spaces, it will simply split it, and in the result you will not have white spaces. So by default it is split by white spaces. Okay, so even if there are number of split number of white characters here, there is only one, there is only one, but there are multiple, it will simply split by white space. Okay, so split a number into individual digits. So this is also sometimes required a business requirement. I want to have this is one number, and I want to split every digit. So I can, how to do that. So this is the number, I will convert into a string, then into a list, and then I will simply use print the digits. Okay, because it's a list. I can simply, I can also convert a float also, floating number, to a list also, so that I want to get the individual digits. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so in the first case 1 2 3 4 5, they are split and they are part of a list now. Again, second 1 2 3 4 5 dot 6 7. So 1 2 3 4 5 dot is again one character, and 6 7 is again one character, and so on. Okay, string. So find method, obviously find will find the particular given string in the original string. Okay, and it will return you the index. Okay, so if it finds, it will give you an index. If it doesn't find, it will give you -1. Okay, so it is found London at place 7. Okay, index 7, and then Paris is not found, so it will give you -1. Okay, so let's see the syntax of the find. So what you want to find, that is substring. You can find it from some index to some index, or start index and end index. Okay, starting index, ending index, both are optional, but what you want to find, that is mandatory. So this is one example where I have a string and I want to find, say, 1 2 3. So 1 2 3 is present here. Okay, only at this point, so to give you an index, fine. I want to find 1 2 3, but I want to start with index 5. Okay, so it will first five characters it will ignore, 1 2 3 4 5, and it will start from here only. Okay, and so on. By the way, this 1 2 3 is also here and also here. Then again, I might start index. I have specified only start index, but here I can see I can specify start and end index also. Let's run it. Okay, so first time there's no index, nothing is provided, so it will simply find it from the start. So it found it at fourth place. Okay, 0 1 2 3 fourth place it found. Now if I want to start at fifth place, so after that it will go to this particular area, and the start index will be 7. And if I want to start from 8 index, then again after 8 index there is no 1 2 3 present, there is 2 3 present, but 1 2 3 is not present. So the index return will be -1. Okay, joining a list of string. Okay, this is very commonly used and commonly asked question: how do I join the list of strings? Again, you can use the join function. Okay, you use single quote or with uh, everything in single quote. But now if you see, if you want to join just like that, it will simply join. If you want to join and have a blank space between each item, or each string of the list, then you specify the the white space here, or any character you want. Let's run it. Okay, so there's no blank space here because in the first join statement there is nothing provided, and in the second join statement there is a blank space provided, so it will add a blank space. Okay, split a string on multiple delimiter. This is interesting. Now we have seen that we can split based on a character or based on a given string and so on. Now I want to split it based on multiple characters or multiple delimiters. So let's say there is one string which is having colon, comma, and then semicolon, and then at the rate special character, hyphen character. So I want to split it on multiple characters at a time. So that is possible using re function or regex. Regex dot split, and then in the bracket I will specify uh, by whatever characters or delimiter I want to split it, and pass on the original string. Now here I can specify two delimiters, or three delimiters, or multiple delimiters. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so first thing is split by semicolon or colon. So if you see in the result, there is no semicolon or colon, everything is split. Now this high order at Moscow Hong hyphen Kong, so this doesn't fit here because it is not having a semicolon or a colon. Okay, next I want to split by hyphen also, so Hong Kong is also split here. Next I want to hyphen by additional at the rate character, so you see high Moscow is also split here, and so on. Okay, find frequency of all the characters in a given string. So I have this string, and I want to know how many times each character is repeated. So that is possible using this dictionary function and counter function. So we have a class called as collections. There we have a counter function which can do multiple things. So counter can count the frequency of each character, and then you can print it as a dictionary, or that same thing you can print using the JSON dumps method. Also there's JSON dumps is again a separate class and it is having a separate method just to dump the values in the key value pair. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, so in the lorem ipsum text, okay, the first print statement, it is printed the dictionary. So dictionary, okay, L is repeated only once, small o 4 times, small r 3 times, and so on. Using json.dumps, you can see it is in a JSON format. So here you can simply clearly see how many times each small case lowercase letter is repeated. Okay, now count the occurrence of a character in a string. Okay, so this is also one of the very commonly used requirement, that okay, in a given string I want to know how many times e is repeated or how many times p is repeated. Now e is available in this string but p is not available. So let's see. Okay, so e is repeated twice and capital P is not repeated or 0 times. So we have a count function in a string which will count number of or the occurrences of a given character. Okay, count or convert tuple to a string. Again, as earlier said, we can convert list to a string, we can convert tuple to a string again with the join method, and you want to join it with a blank space or as per your choice. So once you join, it becomes a string, and this is the resultant string. All right, add padding to a string. For sometimes for displaying on console or for logging purpose or any other business requirement, we have to add some padding. So padding is basically I want to add some characters before the first character or add something at the end. Okay, so let's say I want to print the name and the roll numbers. Now if you see the names, sometimes the student name can be 3 character, 4 character, 5 character. So again, I want to have a fixed format. I don't want any distortion, so that can be done using padding. So I want to have left side padding, that is left alignment. Okay, and left, I want to add a padding of hyphen character, or right align, again padding of this thing, or I can have center alignment. So what does it mean? That let's say center alignment 10. So if this is a word, then totally there will be 10 spaces or 10 characters to be printed. So out of this, Chennai should be in the middle because it's a center, and then on the left and on the right hand side you have to print this additional padded character. Same thing for left justified and right justified. Okay, so let's run it and see. Okay, so original word is Chennai, but in the first time I want to have a left side padding. So the word will be at the left, and then and the right, on the right there will be additional padded characters. Same thing for right padding. So right padding means it has to be on the right hand side, right aligned. Okay, and left hand side there will be additional uh, the spaces or the characters what we want. And then if it is a center, then center, it will be at the center, and there will be padding on the left and the right side. Okay, and so on. Okay, how to print superscript and subscript. Okay, so let's say I want to print a square, or say in chemical formulas I want to say print H2CO2 and whatever. So that is possible using Python. Okay, this is again showing for printing on the console purpose for easy understanding. So I can use a hyphen u. So this is one type or one way to print a superscript or subscript. Okay, slash u 00b slash u 208 slash u 208. These are special uh, characters which are used for subscription, superscript or subscript. Now That can be done using format also. So using format, so the base will be x and the power will be whatever power you want. So this is a subscript example, this is superscript example, and this is subscript example, because the slash u 00b2 and slash u 2082, these are the special I would say modifiers to help to print anything in superscript or subscript format. So let's run it and see. Okay, so I want to print a square, so a square like this. So a, and then the additional character and 2. So a and then square, it will be printing 2. Similarly for subscript h 2 and d2, so h2 h subscript 2, so for that you will have to use this one and then the value which is 2, and so on. Okay, same thing here, but it is little formal way of doing and using the format method or format function. All right, so reverse each word in a string. Okay, so reverse entire string or word by word. So this is my string and I want to reverse it, so I can simply use the slicing methods, where minus one I will add as a last step, which will basically reverse the entire string. Okay, so let's run it first. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5, and it will start from 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, reverse, fine. Now what I want is I want to reverse word by word. Okay, so this is one word, this is one word, this is one word separated by blank space. So I want to not reverse entire string, but I want to reverse entire words in a string. So that is possible using for loop. So first you have to split the string, and then for each word you have to replace word, each word you have to replace or reverse individually, and then again dump it into another string and then print another string. So let's run it. Okay, so this is overall reverse, and this is reverse each word. Okay, so each word, word by word, word by word, it is reversed. Okay, now let's see some other items. Okay, so till now if you are here, that means you want to understand more. So let's see something more. uh, a program to remove the nth index character from non-empty string. Okay, so this is one string and I want to remove the character which is at index 1. So how can I do that? Is I will have one method which will take the entire string and the index of the string which we want to remove, which I want to remove, and then I can split it, or I can slice it, basically slice it basically. So the first part will be the, say, from some position to nth character. Second part will be from nth character to the last, from the n plus 1th character to the last, and then I will simply append them. Okay, so here the index is o, I want to remove. So I will, what I will do, I will take this as a one string, I will take entire other thing as a one string, and then I'll add it or concatenate. Okay, so lo is removed here. This is a remove function. Okay, program to replace all occurrences of from character to character. Okay, so I want to replace small e with dollar character, so that is using replace method. So string has a replace method. Okay, if I want to replace a capital character also, then I will replace it. So whatever you want to replace, that you specify in the first place, and then second place with what you want to replace. Okay, so again this is um, it will find the exact match, that means it is case sensitive. So let's see. Okay, so lorem ipsum. Okay, now let me have one more e here and run it. Okay, so lorem ipsum, so that means e remains capital, that means uh, the replace is case sensitive. Okay, so small e it will replace every time. Now I want to replace small and capital E both, so let's run it. Right, so lorem ipsum is replaced, the dollar is available. Okay, let's see next. Program to determine how many times a given letter occurs in a string. Okay, simply use a count function, this we have seen already. um, Count the number of words, so that is also we have seen. Program to count the number of vowels in a string. So vowels are a e I o u capital and a e I o u small and capital both. So in this string, if I want to count how many times it is repeated, so that is, first thing is you do a sum for some method call, and for each character you go and uh, do a list comprehension. Okay, from this string, and then find out. Or you can use a for loop, and in the for loop again you can, for each character in the vowels um, vowels dictionary, this is a dictionary. So that you can count, so this is both way we can do it. So number of vowels are 12. Okay, it will give you the total number, and so on. Program to count the number of uppercase and lowercase letters in string. Again, so again it is using a for loop. Okay, only thing is what you are doing is you are comparing with the character. So if it is small case character, then you will say if it is more than or equal to a character and less than equal to z character. So this is a lowercase, this is uppercase, simply nothing complicated. Okay, lowercase are 15, uppercase are 10. Okay, this lorem capital epsilon, so these are the only 10 characters which are in capital, and so on. Okay, program to calculate the number of digits and letters in a string. Okay, again simple logic. If it is an alphabetical, then I will say this one, or if it is a digit, then I will increment the counter, and so on. Again in a for loop you iterate. Okay, again in a for loop you iterate on every character in a string. Okay, and then do the required operation. Program to check if the substring is present in the given string. Okay, so I have this big string, and I want to check whether my string is present in this. Okay, so how to do that? Using a find method. So main string dot find and the small string. So if, so once it is found, it will return the corresponding index. If it is not found, it will return with -1. Okay, that means it is not found. Okay, so you can have found or not found. Right, so found it, that means if some enter is available. Now let's say I want to find a string, this entire string is not present. Okay, so let's run it. Not found. Okay, because the exact match is not found. Okay, program to find a common character in two strings. Okay, so whether how many items or how many characters are common between two strings. So convert the string into sets and find the intersection. Okay, this is one way. Convert the set back into a string, and it will give you the characters, how many characters which are common. Okay, so these are the common characters: SEMN space TRPU. Okay, so L is not there, L is not common. Fine. Program to reverse a number. Okay, we have seen this earlier, but once again. So basically the idea is, first you convert into a string, and then that string you reverse using this slicing um, slicing operation, and then again convert it into a number. Okay, this is very straightforward. You can also do using a for loop, using a while loop also. So this is one number, so every time you divide it by 10, and then the remainder you dump it into another string, and then at the end you will have one string which will be reverse of everything, and then again either you can print it or it's up to you. Okay, let's run it. Right, so 1 2 3 4 is converted to 4 3 2 1 6 7 8 9 converted to 9 8 7 6, and so on. So this becomes a bit easy. This is also easy, but it depends if you want to use for loop in your programs more frequently. Program to count the occurrences of each word in a given string sentence. Okay, so this is one string. Okay, and I want to know whether this word is repeated and how many times the occurrence of this word in this particular string. Now I can do it using again regex function, re find all, what word you want to find and in which string you want to find. Now this will definitely find all the strings or all the occurrences, but it will do an exact match. Okay, so if sum is only present here, this is not ipsum, this is ipsup, so this is not correct. This is correct, but this is capitalized. So the exact match is found this and this, so this will say only one time it is found. Now if you want to do ignore case, then re dot ignore case also is there, so it will find it n number of times without case. So first time it is found only once, second time it is three times because it is ignoring the case. Okay, so that is all about strings and substrings. So if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and share it in your community. Thank you.